Hi, so today I want to talk about the nonsense that employees are going to make up in terms of what they get done and what they don't get done, and I want to get to the root of what employees are supposed to do for you. Employees are supposed to bring you money. Employees are supposed to improve your business. When you come in every single day, what employees should be doing for you is giving you the security that when you're not there, that things are going to get done without you having to look over their shoulder, without you having to make sure that things get done, without you having to say, why did I pay you for these past 3 days to produce me no money? Employees are supposed to make you money. So one of the things that I need you to realize is I need you to actually go back to a very, very basic state when you're dealing with employee excuses and ignore almost everything that they're actually telling you. Because here's the thing about the excuses that a lot of employees are going to give you. They're right. A lot of the times they're right. Why didn't you do this? Well, I didn't have this tool and this tool was broken and I'm waiting on it. That may actually make sense because that tool may actually be broken. It really may be broken. But the thing is, there may be other things that they could have done for you that day that could have made you money. They just decided not to find them. Or they may have been able to use a different tool to do the same job, so that may be a way around it. So even though there isn't a plausible good reason as to why they would not have been able to accomplish something, what you're going to find is that the good employees are the ones who consistently on a regular basis find ways to make you money, whereas the bad employees are the ones that drain your money. And, one of this comes from one of the Serbian employees that I have. He is always poking fun at the spoiled American culture that we have, where every single little inconvenience is an excuse as to why we can't get something done. And, he's made some good points. He says, if we were left off in an ice age, there were people that were from my country that would happily flourish, and there are people from America that would be dead within a day because, Grubhub didn't deliver their fucking food anymore. And he really does make a good point. And I want to start off with a story from Eli the Computer Guy channel. Somebody linked me to this video, and I forget which one it is on his channel. I don't remember which it is, but I do want to give credit where credit is due. This came from the Eli the Computer Guy channel. He was telling a story, and the story that he was telling was relating to a conversation that he had with a cult leader, and I'm going to try to relay it the best I can without messing it up. He was saying that cult leaders want smart people. Cult leaders want intelligent people. They don't want idiots. Here's the thing about idiots. Idiots are the people who grew up and you explain to them what it is your cult is all about, and they go, my mama told me when she bounced me on her knee when I was 3 years old that God made the earth in 10 days, and you trying to tell me something different? Motherfucker, you saying that my mama was making that up? I'm going to get my shotgun if you say anything about my mama, I'm going to shoot you! I'm being a little overly bombastic here, but you get the point. When you're dealing with an idiot, even if what you're saying makes sense, they're thinking about things very, very simplistically, very, very basically. You say something wrong about my mama, or if you're an employer like I am, you're not making me money. Everything you said may make sense, but no, you're not making me money. And the same thing is true here. See, cult leaders like smart people because they can give that smart person one little piece of information that may be off, it may be an off-kilter opinion, but it may actually make sense in some way. And then the guy agrees. And then they give you another piece that's related to that, that's a little even more off, but see, they've gotten you to agree to this, and now they get you to agree to this. And the smart guy goes, you actually have a point there when I look at it your way. And then they keep going, and after 6 months, you have this person believing in aliens and spaceships and evil conspiracies. And that's how that works. And the problem as an employer, if you consider yourself intelligent or smart, is that it's not that you're dumb. It's not that people are not going to get anything past you. What they're actually going to do is they're going to come up with plausible reasons as to why things didn't get done, and they're going to play to the fact that you're intelligent, and you're actually going to start believing some of this crap. So what I need you to do is ignore all the reasons that your employees are giving you for why they are failing. Seriously, just take all of those reasons they're giving you and ignore them. So what you have to do is you have to learn how to give people a chance. Because some of these excuses may actually be plausible. What I need you to do is not look at the excuses on their merit individually. What I need you to do is look at patterns. Every employee is going to fail now and then. So you can't just say this person made an excuse, they're fired, they didn't make me money today. What you need to do is look for a pattern. So I have people that I have employed that are here right now that on a regular basis make me money. If they can't get a screw out because the screwdriver didn't work, they will use this pair of wire strippers to turn it. If the pair of wire strippers doesn't work, they will fucking use the Dremel to file down a spudger of some sort to get under the screw, and they will do all sorts of crap to make me money. On a regular basis, regardless of what is going on, they will come up with ingenious ways to take like little acorns and leaves and crap and use them to fix laptops if that is what is needed. They are true MacGyvers. They're not, people who are doing ghetto crap to get through the day, but they are people who simply do not accept no for an answer when I say, here's what we need to accomplish. And if on a regular basis you have a pattern of making me money, you have a pattern of success, you have a pattern of achieving the goal that I've set, you're good. Now, if on a regular basis you have a pattern of failure, you have a pattern of I've given you this to do and I'm just waiting for you to come up to me and tell me why it failed. It's at a point where I don't even have the basic confidence of asking if it worked. I'm just waiting for you to come up with the excuse without even asking what the excuse is. Then you got to go. And you're going to notice that there are these patterns. And the pattern is what I want you to look at. Again, I don't want you to look at the excuse because there are so many reasons. There are so many things where you're not looking over their shoulders, so you can't say yes or no to it. I had an employee that I fired a while ago because he said this iPad came in and they were like literally like wires from electrical wiring coming out of the Wi-Fi antenna portion. He's like, it came this way. And I go, first of all, when this came in, it was closed. Completely closed. Secondly, that wouldn't have closed if you had those wires in there. Thirdly, if it looked like that, why didn't you call them? Why didn't you tell them about this in the beginning? And now, plausibly what he's saying makes sense, that he didn't do this job, that those weren't his, that the iPad had come in like that. But if it did come in like that, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you say that this person's not going to have working Wi-Fi? Why didn't you point it out to them? And also, if the iPad came closed completely and sealed, then how is it that those wires were fitting there? What, there's like a compartment that they made that I don't know about where this person fit this crap in there? And this person had a pattern of failure. This person had a pattern where I gave them a phone, they fixed it, nothing worked on it afterwards, and they had every single excuse in the book. Every single excuse in the book. I didn't rip anything off. Everything there is perfect. And I would look, and I really wouldn't see what they did to damage it. But on a regular basis, over a 3-week time period, every single thing that I gave this person did not work for one reason or another. So I wasn't looking specifically for these little specific things to yell at them for, because this is why I hate firing people, because they can go, why am I fired? They're going to explain to you every single step of the way the reason that something didn't work, the excuse. And what you need to be thinking about is that everybody else here doesn't make these excuses, but you do. All these other people are making me money, but you're not. And when you look at it that way, it's very easy to simply not care. It's very easy to not let the excuses get to you. And a very, very common, simple answer with a very, very simple example of this is with lateness. People will go, oh, the train is late. Oh, this person jumped in front of it. Oh, the MetroCard machine was broken. How am I supposed to be able to get there on time when I have to go back home and take cash to bring it to the MetroCard machine because they weren't taking credit today? This is the best way to just tell somebody to get the fuck out when they're complaining about lateness, because everybody who comes here commutes here. I have somebody who lives in the Bronx, somebody who lives deep in Jersey, somebody who lives at the end of Brooklyn, and I live in Bed-Stuy. We all commute here. None of us live in Manhattan. And we all use the same public transportation system. So we all use the exact same system. And all of us are able to get here on time, but you. Now, again, all of your excuses make sense. Somebody killed themselves jumping in front of the train. This train didn't work, and there's a service advisory on the MTA's website, this, that, and the other. Then why is it that this other person who comes from the exact same area as you is here at 11:59 when they're scheduled for 12, and you're here at 12:45 every day? It really is about a pattern. You need to look at the pattern. You cannot look at the excuses, because you're never going to be able to devise these excuses unless you have a 10 megapixel camera sitting right over their head so that you could see the exact location of the resistor they knock off of the phone. What are you going to do? I want you to look at the people that you have working for you now. I want you to look at every single one of them and just start challenging them a little bit more. I want you to challenge them a little bit more. Give them something that they may have not known how to do. Give them something that they don't really like doing. and just see how they perform with it and see if this is somebody who can produce for you. Do they produce, or do they make excuses as to why they fail? And if they regularly make excuses as to why they fail, give somebody else a chance to produce for you. Again, I was at a point where I actually had people saying, I can't believe this job takes this much time. I can't believe that you're telling me that it takes this long to get this thing done. I am actually going to come here for free to prove to you that it doesn't take that long. And it wasn't until I actually had somebody sit here and do the shit that somebody else was telling me takes 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hours in a half hour, because this other person's much better than me at it, that I actually said, oh my God. And then he says, here, let me show you a couple of things about it. And then I do it myself in 45 minutes. I'm just looking at myself like, oh my God. And, you need to have that experience. You need to realize what it's like to work with people who produce for you, to work with people who take your company's value and grow it, who take whatever it is that's on their table right now and figure out how to use whatever it is in front of them to bring value to your company, to produce for your company, to produce for the customers of your company, to keep your money in your bank account instead of letting it fly out the window. And that's about it.